Hi friends, welcome back to Lolli's Kitchen, and this is episode 5, and I'm gonna show you how to do one of our absolute family favorites. I've been making this recipe for years and my family loves it. So from my kitchen to yours, and this recipe is in 3 parts, and the first part is that you want to make a simple meat sauce. And the recipe is called Dennison Delight, and it will feed about 8 to 10 people. And you start with just making a very basic meat sauce. So you have in the pan, I have onion, celery, and a little bit of garlic. And I'm just gonna brown this meat here. And once it's browned, I'm going to drain off some of the oil, and then we're gonna add our tomato sauce. So I'm gonna show you part 2 of Dennison Delight. So we have our meat sauce, and then I have cooked spaghetti. You can use any kind of noodle that you want. If you like spiral noodles, if you like fusilli, I like to do this with spaghetti. And I boil the water, salt it with about a teaspoon of salt, or maybe half a teaspoon of salt. And then I cook it, al dente means just, so that it's chewy, because we're gonna bake it in the oven, and then the pasta's gonna bake the rest of the way there. So what I'm gonna do is I always keep out a little bit of hot cooking water from the pasta, just so that it doesn't stick together. So I just like to add that, and then it just makes it nice and, so it just doesn't stick together. Okay, so then what I do is I come over here, and then I lay the noodles about a third of the way up, right in the pan. And this is just such a good recipe for a crowd. And I have to say, it's delicious for breakfast, cold. And this is one of those dishes that's great when you bake it once for about a half an hour and let it sit, and then bake it again. Because like in a good Italian dish, all those great flavors meld in with the sauce. Okay, so then I'm gonna come over and have my pasta sauce. And I used about half an onion in here, half a chopped onion, a clove of garlic when I was sauteing the meat. And I'm just gonna lay this in there. And then step 3, once I have my meat sauce laid over my noodles. So what I have here, this is my magic sauce. It is a third sour cream, a third cream cheese, and a third cottage cheese. And I know it is not a dietary shred-friendly dish, but it is a family favorite. And it's comfort food. So I've just mixed this all together. What I did is I softened the cream cheese just so that it's not, so hard to mix in. And then I did a little bit of chopped celery. You can also do a little bit of chopped chive. And then I like white pepper. And the reason I like to use white pepper instead of ground black pepper is then you don't get those flecks of black in your nice white sauce. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of parsley in there as well. Just a little bit of green color. So that's nicely all mixed up in there. Okay, so here's the fun part. Then I just literally start dumping this sauce on top. And I'm just gonna spread it around. All right, so what you want is you don't want to try to not have any of the red sauce coming through the top. And then at the end, I'm gonna do a little bit of parsley. I do this when I bring it out of the oven too, just to give it some nice color. And then I take a little bit of Parmesan and I just shave it over the top like that. Okay, and then I always love red pepper, little grind red pepper. Okay, now I'm gonna pop this into my oven over here. And I have, open it up. And I just wanted to say about this dish that you can cook it the first day, cover it for about 30 minutes, and then take the cover off and bake it for another probably 30 minutes more. And this freezes beautifully. It's fantastic the next day. All the flavors just, you know, bake in there and meld in together, just like a fine Italian dish. It's really hard to screw up this recipe, to tell you the truth. It just gets better every time you eat it. Okay, bon appetit.